All right, so we're going to move on to the rest of the cell. So the first thing that I see here is the walls and the doors of the house. So the walls and the doors of the house separate the house from the rest of the neighborhood and allow people to go in and out. So the walls of doors and windows of the house act like the cell membrane, which controls what comes into and out of the cell. The bricks of the house are located outside of the walls of some houses. Not all houses have them, and it provides an extra bit of structure and strength. And what that is like the cell wall that you find in plants and fungi and bacteria that provide that extra support and structure. Outside of the nucleus, you find everything else um, suspended in the cytoplasm, which is kind of like the rest of our house. And I'm just going to go down from the cytoplasm. So the first thing I encounter, the light switch and the outlets, both of those are associated with power. So when I'm talking about power, I'm talking about the mitochondria, which does something called cell respiration, which takes glucose or food and transforms it into ATP or usable energy. Now I encounter the microwave. So the microwave, I put something in the microwave, I turn it on, and there's a form of energy that's applied to my food. So when I pop the door open, I have food to eat. Very similar to the chloroplast in using sunlight to power as a form of energy, radiant energy, solar energy, to convert raw substances into food or glucose. Next thing I encounter is this food saver. So this food saver allows me to take food, to take materials, and to package them, and I can store them, or maybe I could send them across to a neighbor so I can export them. So that acts very similar to the Golgi, which repackages materials. Mostly, we're talking about proteins here that can be stored or exported from the cell. So here we have the fridge where we store our food, or you could put water in your fridge. So, what does storage inside of the cell? That's going to be the vacuole. Now, please remember that inside of plant cells, their vacuole is more distinctive. It's large, it's centrally located, and it does store water, and it helps to exert a certain pressure on the cell wall that also helps to maintain the shape of the cell. Now, in this sink here, there's a bunch of food rubbish, and what's going to happen when this trash disposal is turned on, it's going to grind up, it's going to break down the food that's there. So what does that kind of action inside of the cell? That's going to be the lysosome, which literally means to break down body. So it has digestive enzymes that can break down waste, old cell parts, and things that are single celled. It kind of acts like their stomach. So going over here to this grill. So typically what we put on a grill, we put meats on a grill. When we're talking about meat, we're talking about muscle tissue, we're talking about protein. So that acts like our ribosome, which are little protein factories. And then moving upward there, I've got this little frying pan. It's got an egg in it. So when you fry something, you add oil, which is a lipid. So when we're talking about frying things, we're talking about making fats. So what does that? The smoothie R doesn't have ribosomes attached to it like the roughy R, so it's responsible for making lipids, and those lipids are primarily used for our cell membranes.